Howdy y'all, welcome. Got a lot of weather to talk about as an active weather pattern looking to be setting up. Has some severe weather going to be in store today, as well as a blizzard going on from Colorado up into Iowa. We'll get into the blizzard here in a little bit, as it's looking like the next few days could be very significant, as an enhanced risk has been issued today in Oklahoma and Texas. Tomorrow, same story, but I'm thinking tomorrow's going to be even more significant than today. And on hump day, the threat level pushes east. It's a low wind day, but keep in mind, significant severe that can still happen on low wind days. You can see a slight risk from Georgia all the way up into Maryland. Now, as far as the threats go, all hazards are possible today and tomorrow. We can see a pretty good chance of seeing hail and tornadoes on top of some high winds. Tomorrow, low wind threat for hail, mainly driven by tornadoes and high winds. Y'all may wonder, what does the hatched areas mean? Well, when it comes to tornadoes, the hatched area means EF2 or greater tornadoes are going to be a greater possibility within this hatch zone. Could be some fail modes. We'll get into that here in a little bit as well. As far as high winds, I would expect 70 mile an hour or greater winds. So definitely power outage is going to be a possibility. So make sure you get what you need before this happens. And as far as on Wednesday, we do not know what the hazards will be. I would expect all hazards just in case, but most likely low wind hazards, hail winds, and small tornadoes. But we'll still take a look at the timing, and I'll give y'all my thoughts on what the hazards will be. So let's go and take a look at the NAM 3 kilometer. This will take us all the way out into Wednesday. We'll first take a look at the timing, and then I'll show you all the wind gusts, and then I'll show you the parameters, tornado parameters, and what kind of environment we're going to be working with. So as we push this forward, nothing's really happening up until at least the overnight hours into the early morning hours of Tuesday. As we can see, we're going to be coming in on a little bit of a squalling as we head into the early morning hours of Tuesday. And then as we head into Tuesday, I would expect the timing to be during the late evening into the overnight hours from Louisiana on over into the Panhandle of Florida, before it starts fizzling out and we're going to finally be done with it. As we take a look at the wind gusts, what we could expect, I would expect right around 40 to 50 mile an hour wind gusts tonight, from around 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the morning. And then tomorrow, I would expect even greater wind gusts, right around 50 to 60 to upwards of 70 mile an hour wind gusts with any storm that rolls through tomorrow. So power outages are definitely going to be a likelihood within this area right here from Oklahoma down into the Panhandle of Florida between today and tomorrow. And then, of course, it's going to fizzle out as we head into Wednesday, and that threat level pushes towards the East Coast. As we take a look at the environment of what we're going to be dealing with, we're going to be dealing with a very moist, unstable environment. We can see the dew points up in the 60s and 70s today. Tomorrow, even greater, near 70-degree dew points down here in eastern Louisiana into Mississippi and the Panhandle of Florida. And of course, we got that blizzard up here in Nebraska, cold air coming down to the north and warm air coming to the south. So definitely a moist, unstable environment for the next couple of days. Of course, tomorrow we're going to be having 60 degrees to upper 70-degree temperatures as far north as Indiana. So we're definitely going to be dealing with some pretty nice temperatures here for the next couple of days. Kind of a spring tease, essentially. But don't be fooled, though, because it's looking like some cold air is going to be coming in on the backside as that blizzard's going to be pushing east and snowfall is going to be occurring over this area. Of course, to that here in a little bit. Now, as far as the tornado parameters go, this shows us where the most favorable ingredients for tornadic activity could be at. Keep in mind, even though if the parameters are off the charts, like here, for example, that don't mean a tornado is going to happen within this exact location. That just means the ingredients for tornadoes is definitely there. So if any sort of supercells interact with that favorable tornadic environment, tornadoes are definitely a possibility. But as we take a look at the composite reflectivity, don't look like much in the way of any sort of storms are going to interact with that. And as we push this forward, we can see right around 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the morning, there's going to be storms rolling through. And we can see right around 4 or 5 out of 10, not maxed out by this time. We see earlier they were maxed out over here in west central Oklahoma. So that's what I'm meaning basically is you can have maxed out tornado parameters, but if nothing's interacting with that favorable tornadic environment, there won't be any tornadoes. But definitely could be having some tornadoes happen through right around 1 o'clock to right around 4 o'clock in the morning. So please be aware of this tonight. If you live within this area, have a way to receive alerts. Whether that's a weather radio, phone, just any sort of way to receive alerts, make sure you have a way to receive one. I know those alerts are annoying, I get it, because there's a lot of false alerts that go off, but it's best to have that than not to have it. And make sure you know where to go when that tornado warning gets issued, by the way, as well. And as this threat pushes towards the east, I would expect the greatest chance of seeing a tornado to occur in Louisiana right around 3, 4 o'clock through right around 6, 7 o'clock. And then from Mississippi to the Panhandle of Florida, I would expect the greatest chance of seeing a tornado occurring from around 8 o'clock through right around 11 o'clock. And as we take a look back at the composite reflectivity, we can see around 3 or 4 o'clock, there's going to be some storms interacting with that favorable tornadic environment. So definitely make sure, again, late evening and overnight event within this area right here, as well as over here in the original area today. So make sure to have those alerts turned on your phone, have a way to receive alerts, and know where to go when that tornado warning gets issued for your location. And as we push east, that threat pushes towards the east coast as a slight risk is issued. I would expect this to be an early afternoon into early evening event before it finally moves out and finally be done with it. And I would expect there to be some isolated tornadoes with this as well. Tornado parameters aren't maxed out, but there's going to be storms interacting with this favorable environment. So there could be some small isolated tornadoes in North Carolina and parts of Virginia. And as far as winds go, I would expect high winds as well. Right around 40 to 50 mile an hour wind gusts possible. So I would expect some small hail, isolated tornadoes, and high winds on hump day. But I'll let y'all know on X and Facebook when the Storm Prediction Center issues those threats. So let's go ahead and take a look at this blizzard that's going on in the northern plains. See, a moderate risk is issued from Colorado up into Iowa, right around 60 to 80 mile an hour winds. Basically, you don't have to have that much snow on the ground to have a blizzard. You just have to have the high winds within a certain period of time to classify it as a blizzard. And this is going to be occurring all the way through Wednesday. We can see the severe weather to the south and the blizzard conditions to the north. We're going to be picking up on intensity as we head into Tuesday afternoon, then fizzling out and heading towards the east into Indiana and Ohio as we head into the middle and end of this week. And as we take a look at the wind gusts, what we could expect, we could see we're going to be coming in on right around 30 to 40, upwards of 50 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts. So this is why a blizzard warning has been issued, as we're going to have 50 mile an hour wind gusts along with right around 20 to 30 mile an hour sustained winds on top of that. So that's why they issued a blizzard warning all the way through Wednesday. And of course, this is going to be pushing off into Indiana and Ohio as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. It's going to be some high winds with that as well. So it's going to be one heck of a storm system, y'all. And as far as the snow totals go, like I said earlier, you don't have to have that much snow on the ground to classify it as a blizzard. You just have to have the winds within a certain period of time. You can see right around 5 to 10 inches of snow on top of those high winds. So definitely going to be very treacherous out there. And of course, we head into the middle and end of this week. We're here in Indiana, Ohio, and Illinois. Could be coming in on a dusting of snow. So unfortunately, we're not done with the snow yet. But this could potentially be our last significant snowstorm of the winter season. So definitely, if you have to head out, please be careful. If you don't have to head out, I'd advise that. But make sure you go out and get what you need now. You should already have what you need. But if you don't, then make sure you go out and get it. Don't head out again if you don't have to. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we could expect for the next couple of weeks. And we already know this storm system that's bringing the severe weather and blizzards to really much of the eastern half of the country. Once that moves out, we'll be dealing with some lingering snow showers, especially over here in the Midwest and the Rockies, which the Rockies seems like y'all get snowfall all the way out into June, it seems like. Then our next system is going to be rolling through as we head into the end of this weekend and into next week. Be keeping an eye on this. This could be another major snowstorm. Now, this will change between now and then. This might not even happen, but I'll be keeping an eye on this, as about a couple inches could be possible with this or even more. But again, I'll be keeping an eye on this as well. Too far out into the future to give accurate snow totals, so I'm not going to do that here. But watch out up here in the Northeast as another system could be rolling through. But as we head into March 10th time frame, it's looking like much of the country is going to start to dry out, except for some snow up here in the Northeast and some atmospheric river-like conditions out west. And then another system is going to be rolling through, bringing heavy rainfall, and a lot of flooding and some ice and snow up here by Wisconsin and Minnesota and parts of the Dakotas. And that's going to dry out again out east. Some more snow and atmospheric river-like conditions out west. And then another system rolling through, so it's looking like the middle of the month is just going to be very active as far as severe weather and snow goes. Although this blizzard's most likely going to be our last significant snowstorm, because there could still be snow showers that occur all the way out past spring. Let's be honest with that. We see uptick in some severe weather in Kentucky as we head into March 16th. Now, this is 300 hours out. This is well into the future. This is la land when it comes to the models. But basically, what I'm saying is, next couple weeks is looking very, very soggy and snowy, and could be very treacherous out there as far as severe weather goes. And we can see here on the precipitation outlook by the Climate Prediction Center, the southeast and the western half of the country is coming in on well above average precipitation, while the central part of the country here is going to be drying out. As we head into the middle of the month, it's looking like much of the country is heading into a very soggy pattern, unless you live or except for down here in Texas and Oklahoma, where it's remaining dry down there. So it's looking like an active weather pattern is going to be setting up, y'all, for much of the country. As we take a look at the precipitation hazards, slight risk out here by California and the west coast due to atmospheric river-like conditions, and some heavy rainfall over here in the eastern half of the country due to system after system rolling through. As far as snowfall goes, west coast into the Rockies, dealing with heavy snowfall because atmospheric river-like conditions rolling through. But this is one of the reasons why I said that this blizzard through Wednesday is going to be our last significant winter storm of the season, because I think after that, I don't think there's going to be many that's going to be occurring. If there is, it's just going to be some snow showers, and it's not going to be amounting to much, but that's still subject to change, so keep that in mind. The thumbnail wasn't clickbait. Now on to the temperatures, since y'all probably wondering when are we going to be coming in on nice temperatures. Well, we know the next few days is going to be pretty nice because there's going to be some severe weather bringing moist, unstable air to the north, cold air to the south, but of course the cold air is going to win out in the end because it's still wintertime, unfortunately, and this warm air is going to try its best to come to the north, but that's going to be smacked down again, and it's going to come to the north again and get smacked down, and we're going to be coming back into some chilly temperatures as we head into and past this weekend. Don't worry though, because that warm air is going to be coming back. We'll be dealing with a spring tease here very soon, and it's looking to remain warm as we head into the middle and end of the month. So we're basically going to be coming in on back and forth temperatures with a little bit of a warming trend. We head into the middle of March. As we see here in the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, much of the eastern and central part of the country dealing with above average temperatures, except for the northeast and southwest. They're going to remain chilly out there. Next 8 to 14 days, the west coast dealing with way below average temperatures, while the rest of the country is coming in on a little bit of a spring tease and a little bit of a warm up. It's well needed. Middle of the month is looking to be very nice as far as temperatures go, except for out west. So basically what I'm saying is, we head into the middle of March, expect a major warm up. Basically a spring tease if you live in the central and eastern part of the country. Of course, out west, it's going to be very soggy and a little bit chilly. Atmospheric river-like conditions could be in store out there. Be aware of that. And it's looking like a very soggy weather pattern could be in store out east as well, which could result in some severe weather, especially in the south central into the deep south. So now I covered the weather for the next couple of weeks. Looking like an active weather pattern is going to be setting up. Hopefully y'all were able to see that planetary alignment on Friday. I wasn't able to see it. Unfortunately, clouds rolled in. Didn't expect that to happen, but it did. But here is an image I found on X of the planets that were lined up. It's going to be pretty neat. So let's go ahead and get into this week in weather history from March 3rd into the 9th. On March 3rd, 1966, an F5 tornado known as the Candlestick Park Tornado struck Mississippi, devastating parts of Hinds, Rankin, Scott, and Lake counties. Killed over 57 people and injured over 500, making it one of only 2 documented F5 tornadoes to hit Mississippi in the 20th century. On March 3rd, 1991, a major ice storm hit central and northwestern New York State, coating areas with up to 2 inches of ice. This event caused $375 million worth of damage, the costliest natural disaster in New York's history at that time, and left nearly 500,000 people without power until March 16th. March 3rd, 2019, a deadly tornado outbreak affected the southeastern United States, with 41 tornadoes touching down over 6 hours across Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina. The strongest was an F4, which killed 23 people and injured at least 100, devastating rural communities from Beauregard, Alabama to Talbotton, Georgia. March 4th to 5th, 1960, eastern Massachusetts experienced its most significant March snowstorm, dropping record 24-hour snowfall totals of 27.2 inches at Blue Hill Observatory, 17.7 at Worcester, and 16.6 at Boston, with winds reaching up to 70 miles an hour. March 9th to 13th, 1891, a severe blizzard struck southern England and Wales, bringing gale force winds up to a foot of snow and snowdrifts as high as 11.5 feet, resulted in 220 deaths, sank 65 ships in the English Channel, and killed over 6,000 sheep. March 9th, 1956, a record-breaking snow depth of 367 inches was measured at Rainier Paradise Ranger Station in Washington, marking it the second highest snow total ever recorded in the continental United States, and it was a state record as well. Now, speaking of March 9th, we got time change coming up, unfortunately, so make sure you set those alarm clocks forward, and I will have some folklore and facts on that as we get closer. I'll most likely have another video out by this weekend, breaking down the northeastern snowstorm. Now, some wartime weather history. Revolutionary War, March 3rd to 9th, 1776. Weather during the American Revolutionary War in early March of 1776 famously influenced outcomes, notably around Boston. George Washington was fortifying Dorchester Heights to force British evacuation. Weather records reconstructed from diaries and logs indicate March 3rd to 9th featured cold, variable conditions, temperatures around 23 degrees to 41 degrees, with a mix of snow, rain, and wind. On March 4th through 5th, a storm brought snow and gale force winds, delaying British counterattacks by March 7th. Clear skies and frozen ground allowed Washington to move cannons into position overnight. So basically, the subsequent freeze enabled swift and tactical advancements, leading to British withdrawal on March 17th. During the Civil War, March 3rd to 9th, it was a prelude to the Battle of Pea Ridge in northwest Arkansas. Historical accounts describe early March in this region as cold and unsettled. Temperatures likely ranged from 32 to 50 degrees, with a mix of rain, sleet, and possibly light snow. March 6th, Union and Confederate forces clashed amid chilly, overcast conditions with muddy terrain from prior precipitation, slowing artillery and troop movements by March 7th through 8th. Reports suggest clearing skies and brisk winds, which aided Union visibility and coordination. So basically, the impact of this was the wet and cold weather hampered Confederate General Earl Van Dorn's plans, as his troops were poorly supplied for the conditions. The Union's defense positions held firm, partially due to terrain advancements exacerbated by mud and cold. So basically, we can see here that during the Civil War, basically the weather helped the Union forces out to defeat the Confederates. Now, in World War I, the Western Front in early March of 1918 was gearing up for Germany's spring offensive, launched on March 21st. Weather played a strategic role. France and Belgium in early March of 19 saw typical late winter weather. 32 to 46 degrees was the average temperatures during that year and month, with rain, sleet, and muddy trenches. Historical accounts suggest March 3rd to 9th included overcast skies and periodic downpours, turning the already devastated landscape into a quagmire. Now, in World War II, I'm not going to go through all of these. Y'all can pause the video anytime to read this if you want to. During March of 1945 in World War II, it was nearing its climax in Europe. The weather during this period was significantly influenced by military operations, particularly the Allies pushing into Germany. And this basically goes over how the Polish were going into Russia and the Russians were equipped for this because they were used to it. So that's basically what this goes over. So I hope you all enjoyed today's little weather forecast. If you did, make sure you hit that like and share button so more folks are informed about the weather. Also, leave me some feedback in the comment section down below, as feedback helps provide you, the viewer, better and more informative content in the future. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because at Here Williams Weather, we try to make weather forecasting fun and informative. I also have a Rumble channel if you want to check that out. It's Williams WX98. I'm trying to grow that channel as well. So basically, looking like an active weather pattern is going to be in store for at least the next few days, with some severe weather down in the deep south and south central and east coast, with a blizzard going on in the north central part of the country. And this could be our last significant snowstorm of the winter season, but it's looking like an active weather pattern is going to be in store after that, as well as it's looking like a lot more severe weather and snowy conditions going to be in store out east. And atmospheric river is going to be occurring out west as well. So basically, what I'm saying here is prepare for a very soggy weather pattern as we head into March. And we could be coming in on a spring tease, as well as we could be coming in on nice temperatures as we head into March. But we got to get past these cold temperatures as we head into this weekend, because it's going to be getting really chilly as we move past the next few days. So again, prepare for the nasty weather coming up, but We got nice weather coming after that, nice warm temperatures. So again, like, comment, subscribe. Enjoy the rest of your day, y'all. And until next time, never stop forecasting.